Hello everyone! So today I'm going to be doing my March wrap-up and my April TBR. I actually did read this month. I read 2 things this month, and I say things because I didn't read 2 full-length novels. I read 2 novellas, but that is way better than I had been doing over the past few months, so I'm super proud of that. I've also found that currently, for me, reading things like novellas is much easier for me and less daunting of a task, and I'm enjoying reading them more often, so this is probably a good time for me to kind of catch up on novellas that I have been wanting to read and kind of re-immerse myself in the worlds that I love. So right now novellas are working really well for me, and reading on the Kindle app on my phone has been super helpful. I just find that it's easier for me to obviously carry my phone with me everywhere than a physical copy of a book. I'm more likely to, if I'm just waiting in a waiting room or something like that, to pull out my phone and open up the Kindle app than I am to, you know, bring a book with me and open that. I don't know, it's just easier for me right now. So that's where my goals are going to lie for the next month, but first I am going to go ahead and talk about the 2 novellas that I read in the month of March, and those 2 are both from the Reed Brothers series that you guys know I love. Okay, sorry if I have moved. I actually had to get up and check what my ratings were on my computer for the 2 novellas that I read. But the first novella that I read in March comes right after the 3rd book in the Reed Brothers trilogy, and it is called Finally Finding Faith. It is just a short little novella about a friend of the Reed Brothers family, so they are in it a little bit, but it is not really any of their stories or anything like that. And I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I thought this was so sweet. If it had been like a full-length novel, I would have totally given it 5 stars, but as I've said before, I feel weird rating novellas so highly unless it was like really amazing or something like that. I don't know, the way I rate them kind of makes sense to me, but I just thought this was so sweet. It follows a girl named Faith who is a friend of the Reed Brothers, and it also follows Daniel. Is that his name? I may be pulling that out of my butt. If that's not right, I will include the correct name down here, but I think his name is Daniel, who was in the army and has been in a huge explosion where he lost his leg. And we find out at the very beginning of the book that he is planning to commit suicide by the end of the next day, or I think by the end of the next day, yeah. And so this is just a very short novella where the 2 of them meet, and he kind of has to learn how to find faith, sort of. It's kind of like a play on words. But it was really good. I highly enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to, because I was like, okay, if this is taking place during the span of 2 days, like, it's gonna move way too fast. But I actually did really enjoy it. Gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I highly recommend that you read the novellas that are in the Reed Brothers series because they are really sweet. And then after that I read the next novella, which is kind of a combination of 2 short stories, and it is Reagan's Revenge and Ending Emily's Engagement. It's kind of the 2 stories that are meshed into one. The chapters kind of alternate a little bit, and this just follows the girl from the first 2 books and the girl from the 3rd book. In Reagan's story, she is kind of finally, she's finally come face to face with her attacker from the 3rd book, and so you kind of see that little short bit there. And then in Emily's story, I'm really not going to tell you anything about that because I'm not really sure what would be considered a spoiler, but they were both decent. I rated the novella as a whole, or the short story as a whole, a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was actually not my favorite novella because I just felt it was a little cheesy and not really long enough for me to feel like it deserved more than 3.5 stars, but it was decent. I love the Reed Brothers, so I'm always happy to revisit their stories. So with that said, I have a couple goals for April. I have a reading goal of 3 books, not counting the book that I started in March because I should just finish that anyway because I started in March. So technically I have 4 books on my goal, but I have a goal to finish 3 full books in April, including the one that I didn't finish last month. And so we are going to quickly go through those. The first book that I have on here is The Selection by Kiera Cass. I am 119 pages into this, and I'm very much enjoying it. I just haven't had time to pick it back up after I put it down because I've been super busy and spending my time with my boyfriend when I have free time. So I just have to find some free time to pick this back up and finish it, but I am really enjoying it, so I'm definitely going to finish this book in April. As well as the other two books that were on my Slay That series TBR, which is Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins and City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. I'm not going to really talk a ton about these because I did mention why I wanted to read these in my Slay That series TBR. I didn't actually get to them because I started the selection instead, but that's okay because I would really like to finish those in the month of April, essentially because I want to move forward with the Mortal Instruments and hopefully finish it in the next couple of months, because those are the only two books that I have left to finish in the series before I, well, besides the novellas, before I go into the Dark Artifices series, the first one that came out recently. I cannot now remember what it's called. Lady Midnight? Yes. And then obviously Mockingjay because I want to see the last two movies. Boyfriend wants to see the last two movies and I want to finish the series. It's been going on forever. So anyway, so I have those two, and then I have one more book to add to that list, and that is The Game Plan by Kristen Callihan. That is the third book in her Game On series. I read the first two and loved them both. I gave them both 5 stars. So I would love to read the third book this month, and I will be reading it on my Kindle app on my phone. So hopefully that will help with the reading slump a little bit. Hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to read that one since it'll be, like I said earlier, on my phone, and it'll be easier for me to pick up and, you know, bring around with me. I'm sorry if the lighting has gotten all weird because it's like dusk, so the sun is going down, so I've like brightened it a lot at the beginning, but I think it's gotten a lot darker since I brightened it. But so I hope that wasn't too rambly, and I hope I wasn't talking too fast. My camera memory card is about to be full, so I like tried to really speed through this and make it under 10 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you are planning to be reading in April and what your favorite book of March was, or your least favorite book of March, either or. And I will see you all very soon with another video. Bye everyone! I am super proud that I actually read some stuff this month, so even though they're just novellas, hey, I at least read like a nice chunk of this book, and this book is actually really fast to get through. I'm like flying through it, and it's kind of like a nice guilty pleasure kind of thing, like The Bachelor, so anyway.